Hello faithful followers, welcome back to her channel. This girl's name is Anthea, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome to her channel. Today she is going to be responding to some comments that a free woman left on one of her videos about 4 months ago. Life just kind of got in the way and she wasn't able to answer right away. But she's making this video to explain some of the, or give her answers to some of the issues the free woman brought up. She has it all written down on her phone, and she'll put the entire thing in the description box down below. But she wanted to make this video in case anybody else had the same questions or comments. And that way, you know, it wouldn't take up a bunch of space in the comment section on the other video. So with that said, let's get started. So the first issue she brought up was that this girl referred to this as her room, when, you know, but a slave doesn't own anything, which is true. She only said her room for an ease of speaking. This is Master's house, bought and paid for, but Master has given this girl this room to be hers, to do with as she pleases. It was also mentioned that a mark on a kajira or a kajiras would be a brand, not a tattoo. And for this girl, in her experience, in real life, most slaves are marked with a tattoo, not a brand. She knows exactly of 2 kajire, not in person. She saw it online. One was branded with a kef, one was branded with the dyna flower. But that's really all she knows about. Everybody else, it's been with a tattoo. They did mention that, you know, you can research freeze branding, cold branding, hot strike branding on YouTube. And this girl, you know, just, if someone wants to brand their slave, it's best to get it done by a professional. Don't try and do it yourself. That could be very bad. You know, just get it done by a professional. It was also mentioned that this girl was recommending tattoos because they might be able to be removed if someone changed their mind and, you know, they wanted to leave the lifestyle. And this girl does recommend tattoos because they're easier to have done. And yes, while tattoos can technically be removed, it's a very expensive, very painful process that most people probably wouldn't do. She's not advocating for tattoos because they can be removed. And this girl also failed to mention the other branding sites other than the left thigh. Sometimes slaves are branded on the right thigh or the lower left abdomen. Now for male slaves, she mentioned that they are usually branded with a large block-styled K on the chest. And this girl was specifically speaking about kajire, not kajiri. She doesn't know any Korean male slaves, so she doesn't know if that practice is actually done in real life or not. She just doesn't know. And another point the free woman mentioned was she didn't know who told this girl that hot iron brands take a year to heal. This girl did research on hot strike branding, and every website, which will be linked in the description box down below, said a hot strike brand takes anywhere between 6 months to a year to heal completely. She also took issue with this girl recommending henna or temporary tattoos as a way to mark your slave. And she took it to mean that this girl was saying you can use that in place of a permanent mark. That's not what she meant. Maybe she misspoke. She meant just as a way of trying out a design before something permanent is made. She also mentioned that the brand is not meant to be shown that you're cared for. It's to show that someone is property. And this girl got her kef tattoo before she was with her current owner. And Master, when we went to a convention together, chose to get her girl cold branded with heart to show that she was cared for. She can't change why Master chose to do that. That's why she got that brand. The kef on her thigh is what shows that she is property. It was also mentioned that slaves are usually branded right away when they become slaves, and that's not always true. Elizabeth Cardwell / Vella from the books was not branded right away when she became a slave to Kamchak, a member of the Tuchuk tribe. It is also mentioned that sometimes a master will not brand his girl right away, although it's recommended by merchant law that a slave should be branded. The next point was this girl only mentioned one of the purposes of a collar. There are actually 4 purposes to a collar. 1, it designates the girl as a slave, which her brand might not, should it be covered by clothing. It impresses her slavery upon her. It identifies her master, and it makes it easier to leash her. It was also mentioned this girl didn't mention other types of collars. This girl wears a Turian collar, but when she was initially collared, she wore a collar that was about that wide, and it was more close-fitting on her neck, and it locked with a little padlock lock. She didn't go into a lot of detail about pierced ear girls. This girl is a pierced ear girl, and girls who had their ears pierced were considered some of the lowest and hottest of slaves, and they were almost guaranteed to not be freed. It was very, very, very rare for a girl with pierced ears to be freed. So she should have provided some more details on that. So thank you, Mistress, for your detailed explanation in your comment. She also said that third-person speech is not generally required of Kajire, and that is true. Most Kajire speak in first person unless they're trying to be reminded that they are a slave. This girl has explained in several videos why she uses third-person speech. She uses it because her master requires it, and it helps her slow down her thinking process because she suffers from bipolar disorder and anxiety disorder. And if she has to use third-person speech, then she has to stop and think about what she's about to say before she says it. And the 6th point the free woman pointed out was that if a slave can walk away at any time, they're not really a slave; they're just a submissive. And this girl is a slave. When she entered into the relationship with Master, she agreed to be a slave. This means she can be loaned, she can be rented out, and she can even be sold. And while that's not legally enforceable, of course, this girl doesn't want that option. She doesn't want the option to walk away, so she gave it up. It was also mentioned that slaves drinking coffee was very rare in the books. And she said that Gorean lifestyles should strive to honor authenticity if they claim to be such high protocol society. This girl's master doesn't mind if her slaves have coffee. In fact, one of the things Master really enjoys is that we each have a cup of coffee as our good morning ritual. And since a slave's master's wishes are what takes highest priority, then this girl obeys her owner and enjoys a cup of coffee with her in the morning. It was also mentioned that shaving of the head was only done by slaves of the priest kings. This is true. Now, this girl did have a past owner who threatened to shave her head as a punishment, but it never happened. She was also wondering why Master uses the term master and not mistress. Now, this girl has explained that in a previous video's comment section, and that will be gone into more detail when she does her question and answer video with Master, because maybe this girl isn't explaining it right. So Master will give her explanation in that video. The free woman was also wondering if the girl was ashamed of her collar and cuffs, and that's absolutely not the case. Anytime someone compliments her necklace, she gently lets them know that it's a collar. And she is very proud to be a Kajira and proud to be owned by her owner. In fact, she even got a little name tag for her collar that says Anthea, property of Miss Jennifer. It was also brought up that cosmetics and perfumes were worn by slaves, and that perfumes were generally very strong scented. And this girl's master doesn't like heavy makeup on her slave. So this girl either goes without, or she uses it very sparingly and only for special occasions. As far as perfumes go, this girl's master is very sensitive to strong smells, and it usually gives her debilitating migraines. So this girl doesn't wear perfume. She was also wondering if this girl had read all the books. No, she hasn't read them all. She read them as she could get them, which means she read, sometimes there were large gaps in between the books she read. But Master has gotten this girl all of the books on audiobook form, so this girl can start going through them. Right now she's on Nomads of Gore. The free woman also said that this girl was, and she quotes, a poor example of a Korean slave girl. And to that, the only thing this girl can say is that she's sorry you feel that way. And the best thing this girl can do is just learn and try to do better. So that covers all the points that the free woman made. If y'all have any questions or y'all want, more detailed explanation on anything this girl covered, you can leave a comment in the comment section down below. And she will hopefully see you next time when she does the video with her master. Bye.